Welcome to this week's edition of Appleseed Legacy. My name is Gordon Spicer and I'm here to bring you the good green news. Lots to cover this week, so let's go. As reported by Market Wired, the San Diego-based Eco-Sustainable Initiative Incorporated has launched a Kickstarter campaign to raise funds to create a marketplace for environmentally friendly services and products. The project, named Eco Depot, aims to provide many of the services and products at a discount, but will need the Kickstarter campaign to raise US $75,000 in order to get off the ground. Meanwhile, the EPA is looking for small businesses and NGOs to be part of a panel to review their plans for the regulation of GHGs, as reported by The Hill. The businesses and NGOs will be asked to provide input and recommendations into the plan. While many would think that the low oil prices recently would be a detriment to EV sales, Nissan CEO Carlos Ghosn thinks the opposite, as reported by Autoblog Green. The rationale, as explained by Ghosn, was that people buy EVs for many other reasons besides economic ones, so the core market of buyers will be unaffected. He went on to explain that EVs are a good long-term investment amidst increasing environmental and emissions standards. Meanwhile, Evo reported on the rumors that the Porsche Cayenne will be an all-electric vehicle. If these rumors turn out to be true, it would turn into Porsche putting themselves into the luxury EV market, alongside Tesla, Mercedes, Audi, and BMW. The arrival date for this luxury EV would be 2018 or 2019, but the car currently is still in the development stages of production. Finally, Wired has caught wind of a plan by BMW and VW to create universal charging stations. While Tesla's creating a super network of charging stations themselves, theirs are equipped with a proprietary plug. VW and BMW aim to create a more accessible network of fast charging stations, which will fill the tank of many community EVs for US $12. You know what? It doesn't stop here, and it's all good news. In science news this week, there's a lot going on. Researchers from Chalmers University of Technology have discovered a means to dramatically increase the energy efficiency of energy grids, as reported by nanowork.com. It was found that high voltage cables could withstand 26% higher voltage, thereby reducing energy losses in power grids. The breakthrough came from manipulating the insulation around high voltage power lines by adding a micrometer-sized carbon ball to increase the quality of the insulation. Also, Pennsylvania State University has been awarded $30 million US for an emission monitoring and climate change effects program, reported by Companies and Markets. The NASA-funded program will use ground-based airborne and satellite-based measuring techniques to monitor the effects of climate change. Many hope that the data collected from this and other monitoring programs will enable researchers to predict the future effects of climate change. Meanwhile, a group of Canadian researchers have been chosen as finalists for the Launch Initiative, as reported by CSR Wire. NASA and Nike are to promote green chemistry founded in this Launch Initiative. The Canadians will be on a short list of 10 research groups, which also include scientists from Brazil and the US. The Launch Initiative stresses social, environmental, and economic impacts of material systems and manufacturing in the context of green energy. Also, a Canadian company has created a novel process for lithium processing, writes Market Wired. Stria Lithium, a small company based in Ontario, has created an environmentally sustainable process for the extraction of lithium. Lithium is another key material in iron batteries. This gives the small company an advantage in a market dominated by large companies. Finally, American engineers have found an inexpensive solution to reducing carbon emissions, as reported by Environmental Research Web. Their solution is simply to resurface many of the highways using optimized practices. The idea is that smooth roads lead to less maintenance on vehicles, and that the reduced stress on the vehicles will increase fuel efficiency. With news like this, we are going to win the game. Check out our mission at appleseedlegacy.com. Jump into our newsreaders too, updated daily. Check us out. In society news this week, President Obama has moved to increase the environmental protection of the Arctic National Wildlife Reserve in Alaska, as reported by the New York Times. Of the 19 million protected acres, Obama has asked Congress to designate 12 million acres as wildlife, which affords it the greatest protection possible from the federal government. Environmental activists come from all stripes and should be commended for their work, none more so than Lieutenant General Russell L. Honore. As reported by Mother Jones, ever since being part of the relief effort in his home state, Louisiana, and after Hurricane Katrina, he has since championed environmental causes there. Despite helping many communities file lawsuits and raising awareness of environmental issues, Honore is still given the cold shoulder by both Washington and the gubernatorial administration in his state. As reported by Tree Hugger, the city of Vancouver has instituted a ban on organic waste and regular garbage. The city will start to use a green bin for organic waste instead. Vancouver is considered one of the best cities in North America for recycling, with about 60% of their throwaway items being recycled. Amidst plans by the European Council to remove its waste and recycling legislation, the European Federation of Waste Management and Environmental Services has announced its support for keeping the legislation, as reported by the environmental leader. The legislation is meant to promote a circular economy, which according to FEAD would not only be beneficial for the environment, but would also provide nearly 200,000 jobs in Europe, and would have an economic benefit of 600 billion euros. Finally, President Obama met with Prime Minister Modi of India to discuss, among other items, the reduction of GHG emissions from India, as reported again by the New York Times. One of the major hurdles to both emission reduction in India and to the India-US relationship at this point has been the implementation of civil nuclear energy. However, Obama announced that the US is committed towards full implementation of nuclear energy in India. In technology news this week, South Africa has opened its largest solar plant, as noted by the South African government. The 96 megawatt plant, called Jasper, will help the country meet its energy needs, which are considered to be in a critical state right now. The plant will provide enough energy for up to 80,000 homes. Another country has recently installed a large alternative energy plant, as reported by Business Green. The plant will provide up to 1 gigawatt of power from wind energy to France. The wind energy industry has been stagnant for the past few years in France, but has now, so to speak, regained steam, especially since being bolstered by this new plant coming online. Meanwhile, KHON2 reports that the Hawaiian electric companies have unveiled a plan to increase the amount of rooftop solar panels on the islands. The proposal would give individuals who install PV cells on their roof a rebate on their electrical bills. This plan would also see the amount of energy storage in the neighborhoods increased from 120% of daytime maximum load to 250%. Also, the current rate for customers is 29 cents per kilowatt hour, while the proposed rate is going to be 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Finally, as reported by Green Optimistic, an Iranian restaurant has taken a very different approach to being environmentally friendly. The restaurant is entirely built from salt. While this may be a peculiar building material, salt has long been known to be a natural air purifier, not only removing particulates from the air, but also reducing the amount of bacteria and pathogens. The restaurant has also implemented several repurposed items to make the restaurant even more eco-friendly. Thanks for joining us this week and every week. At Appleseed Legacy, our mission is to make significant surgical changes to the environment through business, science, society, and technology. We've been in business for a few years now, and with our staff and an army of volunteers, we are going to get there. Join us on this mission. Tell your friends, and check out our website, appleseedlegacy.com. In 2015, our mission will be expanding significantly. Why don't you hop on the bus? We are going to win this game, the good green game.
Well, who knows, it might be